So we're still waiting for Rihanna to show up. So, must be the Met Gala. Hi everybody, what's up? If you're new to my channel, my name is Chris Clemens, or if you're one of my Clementines, welcome back to the dysfunction that is my channel. Now I have to ask, what is more disappointing? My father or what people end up wearing to the Met Gala every year? Who knows? Buy my shirt. Buy my shirt. Buy my hat. Buy it all.
Get your f***ing ass up
and join my Patreon. Well. If it isn't the first Monday in May, I don't know when this happened, but all of y'all like live for my fashion roast / fashion reviews, and tonight is like the Super Bowl of being a judgmental. It is the 2023 Met Gala with the theme Karl Lagerfeld, a line of beauty or something like that. I don't know, but after watching all of this, I need a line of something else because I am bored. Now this theme is essentially paying homage to Karl Lagerfeld, who is the legend behind brands like Chanel, Fendi, Chloe, Balmain, etc. But if you don't know what any of that means, essentially, it's just gonna look like a ton of people attending like a really fancy funeral. So let's get into it, shall we? I also have a little cocky here, so let's begin. So first up, we have Adut Akech, and I just know that I already butchered that name. I think she looks phenomenal. Is she serving a little bit of skunk? Sure, but it don't stink. The hair is like, I think the hair literally pulls it all together. Now, of course, because I've got to nitpick everything, I don't really understand like the black tulle with like the white loofah stripes. Like, I wish that was all kind of one texture. But then again, maybe I don't. I don't know, I just know that there's looks I hate way more than this, and I think she looks gorgeous, so listen, I'll take it. Next up, we have Alton Mason, and listen, Alton, not that you're watching, I will wash the ground you are about to step on. You are a god. For those of you who don't know, Alton Mason was the first black male model to ever walk in a Chanel show in the 109 years of the brand being in existence. If I were Chanel, I would just literally never let that be the PR headline, but to each their own. Alton Mason, to me, is one of the strongest looks of the night. He is giving Chanel bride. He said, F gender norms. He said, I also look hotter than most brides. Like, tell me why the I want to walk around in lace leggings now. I'm waiting. Also, could we take a moment to recognize that I have started the video liking not one, but 2 out of 2 looks already at the Met Gala. What is happening? All right, and that's where the streak ends. Okay, we have Amanda Seyfried. I get that with this theme, we're gonna see a lot of pearls and jewels and lace, tweed, and all of this other stuff. But Amanda, baby, why am I seeing your pearl? For such a beige girl with beige hair, the last thing we needed to put on her was beige. Especially when everybody just went with black and white. Some say yes to the dress. I'm saying never again, please. In fact, burn it to this dress. Next up, next up I'm apparently hitting puberty. Next up we have Anitta, and I need more of get it? Like, Anitta, I need more of this. I mean, like, is this my favorite Met Gala look ever? No, like, not really. But is it glamorous with like a nice balance between the shoulder and the train? And yeah, I will say the Marc Jacobs Heaven / Versace platform boots are confusing. Next up we have Anna Wintour and the old man she's helping cross the street, I guess. Anna's face is just everything that I could ever about this. Like, tell me why the editor-in-chief of American Vogue looks like she is one half of an elderly couple who won a radio contest to attend the Met Gala. I understand that her ugly sequin jacket has like a floral rose pattern. Like, imagine hosting not just a party, like the biggest party of the year, and still continuously looking boring. Next up we have Anne Hathaway, and honestly, Anne Hathaway. The Princess in Genovia is looking like a little Chanel and I kind of love it. When I first saw this, I hated it because it just looks like she was about to walk in a Versace runway show. And then I saw like the actual pictures, and I'm obsessed with it. I think this is like the perfect example of melding the Met Gala theme and like the brand or your personal style and meeting halfway. This honestly could look like a Versace Chanel collab, and I would believe it. Next up we have Anok Yai, and I think that she looks absolutely flawless. I think the shimmer and the frill and the tulle behind is such a nod to Chanel. And then to make like a wedding veil into a pair of sunglasses. Oh my god, there has never been a Chanel bride as hot as this. Point blank period. Next up we have Ashley Graham, and at first when I saw this, I was kind of like, okay. Well, it's not that I didn't love it, it's just that it felt like such a go-to Met Gala look. But then I remembered that I'm pretty sure that Karl Lagerfeld hated the color pink, and then also fat people. And while we're on it, sweatpants, and as a slightly overweight person with pink skin who is wearing sweatpants, Ashley Graham, I kind of love this. She was like, yeah, I'll come to your party, but I'll absolutely run a smear campaign. Next up we have Ava Max, and as a fan of Ava Max's music, I feel bad about what I'm about to say. It's kind of just generic. I understand that she's making the references to Karl Lagerfeld with the bride and the pearls, but all I'm getting from it is that she's J-Lo singing at the inauguration at 5 and then getting married to Ben Affleck at 6. Like, I'm sorry, this looks like a David's bridal dress with a pearl encrusted, like a condom. Next up we have Bad Bunny and Benito. Baby, change her name to Good Bunny, because I love this. I love the way Bad Bunny takes risks with his looks. I know in this picture it just looks like a white suit with like a bunch of crumpled up toilet paper like traveling behind him. I just kind of love that out of all the guys that came here tonight, he took on this bride theme and did it with a tweed suit. And like the back of the suit has like a cut. Oh my god, it's... I mean, I really gotta say I loved his look. Next up we have Baz Luhrmann, who I'm pretty sure is wearing Thom Browne. I have to say that Thom Browne came for everybody's necks this year. Now, I don't know if it's just because if I cross my eyes enough, Baz Luhrmann looks like Karl Lagerfeld, but I just think that this is another great example of a fashion house coming and meeting the theme halfway. Next up we have Ben Platt. When I saw this look, I was obsessed with it. However, now that I pulled it up for this video, my immediate first reaction was Little Drummer Boy. I'm literally so sorry. And maybe it's just the picture, but he just looks so uncomfortable in it. I'm sorry, Ben. You seem like a really nice guy. Next up, we have Billie Eilish, and Billie looks so good. I will say at first, I was kind of on the fence about it, but then the more I looked at it, there was just more and more detail that I was noticing that I was so fascinated by. Was I almost out of breath saying that sentence? Yeah, like 100%. Now, with that being said, if I saw her walking down the street in this, would I say, oh, she's going to the Karl Lagerfeld Met Gala? I mean, I don't know, but then again, do I care? Next up, we have Cara Delivigne, and I kind of go back and forth on this one. She was like really close to Karl Lagerfeld, so like, was I kind of picturing her showing up cosplaying Karl Lagerfeld? Maybe. On one hand, I love that she did a subtle nod to Karl with the gloves and the gray hair. I don't know, for someone who was so close to Karl Lagerfeld, this feels kind of like a letdown or boring. Like, girl, why did you put one of his bed sheets around your arms and call it a day? Next up, we have Cardi B, and I believe this was her second look. I mean, this is what Cara Delevingne should have done. There's the reference of the white gray hair. There's all of these flower motifs, which were super Chanel. There's the black tie and the white colored shirt, and it doesn't even look costumey. This is really pretty. Cardi B, you get a Cardi A+. Ew. Next up, we have Diddy, and I could not be more excited to see a man who is not afraid to dress the part for a Met Gala theme. There's something about this that is like so subtle, yet so Karl Lagerfeld. I just think this is the perfect way to meet a Met Gala theme with not wanting to go like full Doja Cat. Wow, sitting here this long and praising P. Diddy was not on my bingo card for 2023, but then again, neither is half the shit that's happened this year. Next up, we have Doja Cat, and thank God for Doja Cat. I mean, thank God for Doja Cat. Karl Lagerfeld has a little pussy. Alright, Chris, it's not that funny. Serious face. I just think that once again, this is a perfect marriage of the theme and the person coming dressed for the theme. This is so weird, yet stunning. And like, why does she look hot? She's in a full face of prosthetics. Why? Next up, we have Dua Lipa, and I think she looks gorgeous. I think this is a different look for her, which is exciting to see her in. And my God, let me Dua peep that necklace, mama. Next up, we have Dwayne Wayde, and I understand like what he was trying to go for with like the gloves and the overcoat and just like all the other embellishments. However, with that being said, does it look like he's sitting at Zara's table tonight? Yes. Which is a huge bummer because I think Dwayne Wayde is an exceptional human being. I just like don't know if this was the move. Next up we have Emily Ratajkowski's, and she has bangs. I have to say, is this giving me Karl Lagerfeld? No. But what it is giving me is a medieval fair. She said, you want a turkey leg the size of your head? It's crazy that someone as hot as Emily Ratajkowski can look just like a common townsperson from Shrek. Honestly, knowing my luck, is this like some historical Chanel dress that she got out of the archive? Probably. Does that mean I have to like it? No. Next up we have Emma Chamberlain, and listen, I love Emma, like more than I love most people. I think her outfit looks kind of cheap. I'm talking like cheap as in maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's ASOS. I obviously understand like the suit and the skirt is supposed to be like a nod to Chanel. It not being made of tweed really kind of doesn't take it there. Next up we have Eryka Badu, and I have to say, this is so Eryka Badu. She looks like one giant Karl Lagerfeld ponytail. I love it. Everyone thought, who's gonna show up dressed looking like Karl Lagerfeld? Who's gonna come dressed up like his cat? No one thought who's gonna come dressed up like his ponytail. Oh God, help me. Next up we have Eva Chen, and oh my God, that's where all my tinfoil went. I can't lie to the public, I don't understand the reference. Like, I'm sorry, but she looks like a Chipotle burrito busting at the seams. It's probably gonna be a really sentimental meaning, knowing my luck, but I just hate it. Next up we have FKA Twigs. This to me is beautiful, but yet very like I'm going to like a work conference. I think if her hair wasn't this sculptured and interesting, I think this would be a far more boring look. That being said, is it my favorite look? No, but is it the worst look? Absolutely not. Next up we have Gigi Hadid, and like I get where she was going with this, but also you're Gigi Hadid. As someone who has walked in so many Karl Lagerfeld Chanel shows, I just can't comprehend coming to the Met Gala looking like this. Like, tell me why me showing up with this 2014 Chanel milk carton bag is more of a serve than this look from Gigi. Which I will say, why the f did I not see one of these walk down the carpet? Hold on, I've got to get my lactate. Don't get me wrong, Gigi looks phenomenal, but like, did I want more? Yeah. Next up we have Gisele Bündchen. Look how happy she looks to not be here with Tom Brady. I believe that this is an archived Chanel dress that was made by Karl Lagerfeld. However, I realize that I don't know enough about this look to be wagging my finger like this. I understand this might be from the archives of Chanel, but like, it's still, it's kind of fine. Personally, I think it would be a lot more breathtaking without the giant Victoria's Secret angel wings. This is just like middle of the road for me, and I feel fine about that. Next up we have Halle Bailey, and you could tell me she was going to the Oscars to win Best Picture for The Little Mermaid. Like, don't get me wrong, she looks gorgeous, but I'm not like getting Karl Lagerfeld from this like at all. So next up we have Ice Spice, who is one of my favorite people on this planet. That being said, I hate this look. Ice Spice is one of those people that like I would make an exception for because I like her as a person. This is just like fine. I understand the camera is a nod to Karl Lagerfeld as a photographer. I am getting a very simplified version of like a balmain dress with like the little cutouts, but it's just nothing crazy, and for her first Met Ball, I wanted this to be so like exciting. But instead, the ice doesn't have spice. It's in fact melted. Next up, we have Irina Shayk, and I'm conflicted this twist of I'm conflicted with this one because like I get the whole floral and bride and ballet flat motif. It's just kind of boring. To me, this is the human embodiment of pretty privilege. Like, oh my God, I'd love to show up anywhere in like a silk pillowcase and just be on like a maybe best dress list. Anyways, did a teacher roll me into a classroom? Because I'm projecting. Next up, we have Jack Harlow. Ah, my God, Jesus Christ. Listen, this is like taking a math test and doing all the work wrong, but cheating off your friend and having the exact correct answer at the end. Like, yes, technically, is he in a tweed suit at a Karl Lagerfeld themed Met Gala? Yes. Does it look awful? Without a doubt. Someone take Mr. Tumnus back to Narnia, because why the would you wear black shoes with a navy suit? I am so sorry to Jack Harlow. I really am. You seem like a fun guy who's just enjoying life and chasing his dream. Could you chase after a better stylist, please? Speaking of jump scares, next up we have James Corden. James, it's never a good day when you looked better in the movie Cats. I gotta be real, I don't know what in the flying This is supposed to be a reference to just like your show. Stop it. Next up, we have Janelle Monae, and I think she was one of my favorites of the evening. I look at this and think, wow, that's a wonderful nod to Chanel. Tom Brown. I just think the tweed with the suit and just the playfulness, this is a home run, and why the fuck did I just make a baseball reference? Next up, we have Jared Leto, and as someone who is often scared by Jared Leto's antics, I gotta say, I fucking love this. Everyone made the joke about who's gonna come dressed up as Karl Lagerfeld's cat. This motherfucker did it perfectly. This is exactly what I want on the Met Gala carpet. I want Anna Wintour to look down the stairs and shit her ugly dress and think, what did I do? Next up, we have Jennie Kim, who looks phenomenal. I mean, like, there is quite literally not one part of this that does not feel Chanel. I mean, there's not much for me to say about this. I just think she looks gorgeous. Is it groundbreaking? But no, definitely not. Next up, we have Jessica Chastain, and I love this look. Between the black dress and the white hair and the bride kind of motif, I think this is honestly one of the best looks I've seen Jessica Chastain in. Wow, I really have like nothing to say. I'm just shook at how good she looks. Some might say I'm shook by the look. Next up, we have J-Lo, and J-Lo, when are you just gonna fucking retire? Ugh, I'm so sorry, but come on. This just looks like she's singing the national anthem at like the Kentucky Derby. None of this is really giving like Chanel. It looks like she's going to a funeral for her own career. Before you click on the keyboard and call me a bitch. Like, think about it. If you were J-Lo, would you show up to the Met Gala looking like an 86-year-old grandmother who's going senile? Next up, we have Jordan Roth, and I have no idea who this is, but do I want to find out more? Yes! To me, this is so interesting, yet feels in line with this Karl Lagerfeld theme. The subtle glamour, Next up, we have Julia Garner, and is she garnering my applause? No. I feel really bad saying that because I really do like her. I'm not sure if I'm getting Karl Lagerfeld as much as I'm getting Penn and Teller. It fully looks like she's about to make the Metropolitan Museum disappear. I definitely understand where she and her team were going with this. Next up, we have Karlie Kloss, and Carly, I'm gonna look you right in the eye. I don't hate this one. I don't know if it's because I'm a sucker for Jonathan Anderson at Loewe, but this like motion blur with the pearls and the black. Once again, a perfect marriage of a brand and a theme. It is simple yet so effective to me. I really can't believe I'm saying it, but Carly, I really like your look this year. Next up, we have Kendall Jenner. And how do I say this? From the literal nanosecond I saw this look, all I could see was Kris Jenner and the "You Got Kris" meme, but in a different color. I will say I do like this look for Kendall Jenner in culmination with the theme. That being said, I don't like the silhouette the boots create. I don't know, as someone who is like a Chanel bride for a ton of shows, I just was kind of expecting more. Next up, we have Jeremy Pope, and I had to pick my jaw up from the floor when I saw this. This was with Olivier at Balmain, and Karl Lagerfeld was at Balmain previously. I just think that this was like a perfect homage. Was it literal? Sure, but for those of us who only read picture books, I loved this. Next up, we have Kim Kardashian, and I have to say this was probably one of the biggest letdowns of the night. You can say a lot about Kim K, but one thing she does is she shows up. However, I hate what she showed up in this year. The second I saw this look, all I thought of was her original Playboy shoot where Chris coined, "You're doing amazing, sweetie." It's like all that I see. It just feels poorly executed because it feels like she was trying to be dripping in pearls while also trying not to be naked underneath, but the like undergarments don't match her skin tone. Next up, we have Kim Petras, and just like her song Alone with Nicki Minaj, this falls flat. I'm so sorry mostly to Kim Petras for what I'm about to say, but why does she look like Poot Lovato found blonde extensions? I know. I will probably be on your flight to hell. Just because you wore black and white does not make it a good look, Kim. Oh my god, it's two Kims. That kind of disappointed. Next up, we have Kylie Jenner, who is following in the steps of Kim, and by that I mean this was disappointing. I just want to know what Met Gala theme she was given, because it wasn't Karl Lagerfeld. Does she look stunning? 100%. That's not the question with pretty much any of these people. There's probably some deep reference from an archive that I didn't know existed that's happening here. This just looks like she's on the carpet for like the MTV Movie Awards. Especially after rumors that none of your whole family would even be there. This is what you show up in? Next up, we have Lil Nas X, and I think I might get crucified. I'm gonna say it, I don't go crazy for this look at all. I know the Met Gala supports the Costume Institute, however, this just feels like a bad costume. I applaud the commitment, but it kind of just gives street performer who painted themselves metallic and like holds their pose all day. Now I understand that he might be packing heat, but like I think he could have tucked the heat away for this moment and had a much smoother, tighter underwear. And also I wish the boots melded more into his legs. I can see the gap and it kind of ruins the illusion and makes this feel very like DIY costume. I just think if I were a judge, this would get a little Nas X, you know? Next up we have Lu Wen, and I think that this is stunning. This is such an homage to Karl Lagerfeld, but the white flowers pouring out from underneath of the dress, I think is so dramatic and beautiful without being tacky and overdone. I don't know who this is, but I think she looks absolutely stunning. Next up is Lizzo, who I believe is wearing a dress that Linda Evangelista wore made by Chanel. Could be wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I remember. Having seen a photo of the original on Linda Evangelista, I am angry for Lizzo that the people who made this for her did not take into account the difference in proportion. Because what ends up happening is this looks cheap when in reality Lizzo should be dressed like a goddess. That being said, I still like the concept. I just wish the people executing it did better. Next up we have Maluma, who is making me go Malum, huh? I'm not really understanding any of this. Like, I don't really know religions, but this definitely looks like he's about to just bust out into a prayer. Like, why does he look like a sexy priest who confirmed me in the church? I just don't get it. Next up we have Manu Rios, and I think that this is beautiful. The tailoring and the gloves and the chicness and the boot even are so Karl Lagerfeld. I just think that this shows that you can go simpler and still hit the mark of the theme and look good. Next up we have Margot Robbie. I love Margot Robbie. And then I see her on red carpets and that goes right out the window of the Barbie convertible. Oh my God, as someone who wears Chanel all the time, this is what you came in? Let's go Barbie, let's go Barbie. Like go Barbie. Next up we have Nicole Kidman and her husband, who just continues to look like a lesbian billy goat. Apparently she is wearing her dress from the Chanel No. 5 commercial directed by Baz Luhrmann. Had I not read that, would I have known that? Literally not at all. I can't really comment on if the dress really gives Karl Lagerfeld because it clearly was Karl Lagerfeld. I just think the hair looks like an afterthought and it just doesn't do a ton for me. Next up we have Olivia Wilde, and let's say cello. Get it? Like cello? Why the fuck is there a cello on her chest? To me, I understand if she was going for like a nod to Balmain. However, this looks like the Fashion Nova knockoff. One thing about her, she always puts the wild in Olivia Wilde. Next up we have Paris Hilton, and I don't know how it's possible, but Paris Hilton looks like she did in 2000. I am getting this hot gothic Chanel bride, like with leather. I think this might be one of the best times Paris has looked this good. God, I just love this for her. Next up we have Penelope Cruz, who is absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous. To me, this is elegance, this is glamour, this is Chanel bride. I have to say I absolutely hate the pearl circle belt. Like, oh my God, that is so fucking Karl Lagerfeld Chanel, it's insane. Next up we have Phoebe Bridgers, and I think she looks really pretty. I hate to say it, but at this part of the Met Gala review, this to me kind of gets lost in the crowd. I do get a lot of Karl Lagerfeld Chanel meets like kind of Phoebe Bridgers style. It just doesn't do like a whole lot for me. And also, just like a lot of other people, the hair kind of feels like an afterthought. Next up we have Robert Pattinson, and this is exactly what the men's baseline should have looked like for the Met Gala. To me, this is like a suit, but with an added flair that the Met Gala deserves. Let's defend the Met Gala's honor. Like, well, I don't know what that was. That being said, do I hate black shoes with a navy look? 100%. Absolutely drives me insane. Next up, we have Roger Federer. Oh my God. Next up we have Sydney Sweeney, who has apparently taken a page out of Margot Robbie's playbook, which is never serving. Oh my God, what is this? Like, I get it once again. Like, I see where people were going with these looks. But babe, just like Flight MH370, it didn't land. I just don't understand how someone this gorgeous can look this much a mess. Next up we have Thames, and I think that this is perfection for this. I love that it feels so referential to Karl Lagerfeld with this button-down shirt collar but on the waist. And just the whimsicalness of the headpiece and the sleeves. Like, oh, I think that this is gorgeous. Next up we have Teyana Taylor, and I am kind of riding 50-50 on this one. And by 50-50 I mean I like the top 50, I hate the bottom 50. I understand that the signature Karl Lagerfeld sunglasses with the tweed, with the black tie, I get it, truly. I just don't get the skirt part of it because it totally takes all of the dynamicness and like flatlines it. Now I was just about to say we reached the end, but that is not true because Rihanna and A$AP Rocky have finally showed up to the Met Gala. When I saw Rihanna walk out of her hotel looking like Aretha Franklin, I was kind of shook because I was like, wow, mother is about to let me down. However, I just saw the red carpet look and mother and father are eating, I'm afraid. At first, I was so disappointed by A$AP Rocky's outfit until I remembered that this is like a literal like replica of Karl Lagerfeld. What I love is that A$AP added the blue jeans with pearl embellishments to create this blend of the theme with his own style. And then there's Rihanna, who has the white flower motif. I will say, was this worth the wait? Absolutely. Sorry, all I was thinking about is imagining being their child. And just like Karl Lagerfeld, we have reached the end. Oh my god, that was so out of pocket. Hope this fashion review / roast didn't let you down. Speaking of down, let me know down below what you thought of some of these looks. I appreciate y'all. Thanks so much for listening. It's 11:45. I need, oh my god, to edit this. Oh my god. Oh my god, I am more tired than some of these looks. Whew.